We're so excited you're here with us. This is a Crown Channel celebration like no other. Welcome to the Western release of Lost Ark. I'm Lisa Malambry, aka Lucy May, and I first want to take this moment to say, in the promotion last week, we did make a mistake, and there's been some confusion around our Lost Ark Founders Pack giveaways. And I want to say we are very sorry for the confusion, but rest assured, we are still giving away Founders Packs. Don't you worry, we got you every day. This week, and multiple times during each show, we'll be randomly selecting a lucky winner out of chat to receive a Founders Pack right there before your eyes. Bronze, silver, gold, platinum, it's up for grabs. We're gonna be doing the first giveaways right now. So type !ArkWeek in chat. You got 2 minutes to enter, and then over the next 5 to 10 minutes, random winners of random Founders Packs will receive a whisper. So keep a lookout for those because you must reply to that whisper before the end of the show today. And that's gonna be at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Now, if you don't reply to the first whisper by 7 p.m. Pacific time, we're gonna give that Founders Pack to the next randomly selected winner. You don't want that. But outside of that, you must be 18 or over and a US resident. So good luck. Type ArkWeek, !ArkWeek in chat right now, and you've got about another minute, I'd say, to enter in. So now let's get this ArkWeek party started. We couldn't be more proud to have the opportunity to host this week-long celebration of one of the hottest MMOs out there. We are your Lost Ark launch headquarters, and whether you're a new fan of Lost Ark or have been playing since day one release over 3 years ago, this ArkWeek is for you. A huge shout out to ArkWeek sponsor LG. Their Ultra Gear monitors were the #1 gaming designed monitor in the US in 2021. So many thank yous to LG. Hypes in chat. We're so excited that they're a part of this, and we're about to have so much fun. All right, now, since Lost Ark released in 2018, it's taken parts of the MMO world by storm with 3.8 million players. And this Friday, finally, Lost Ark is coming to the rest of us. Until then, we're gonna be broadcasting the hype all over the internet, wherever you're watching from, hello. But if you want the full experience, head over to the Crown channel on Twitch at twitch.tv/crown. It's a place to see your favorite streamers and celebrities playing popular game titles, so be sure to hit that follow button, toggle notifications on, don't miss a show. !Socials in chat for links to all of Crown Channel's socials. Check those out as well, follow, let's be fam. Let's hang out and have some fun. And today, of course, like I said, we've got a ton of great stuff for you guys all week long. As you know, we're gonna be giving away those sweet, sweet Founders Packs. And we also have Twitch drops enabled. You're already earning your way towards it by watching right now. So log 4 hours, and before the end of the week, you'll be able to claim, bam, a Saphia pet chest. Oh, they're so adorable. Hang out, watch, and chat. By Friday, you'll be Lost Ark ready. All right, well, here's what we have in store for you every day this week. Now, ArkWeek begins today with Lore Origins. And how did we get to this point of your Lost Ark journey through Arcasia? Find out in just a moment. Tomorrow, watch streamers Lyric, Saikuno, and Somerset on Starting Zone as they battle their way through their own playthrough of Lost Ark. And community manager Cy Batiste will be with me to discuss all things about the game. Plus, we're gonna have some fun with you guys, all right? You get to help us rank all sorts of things into tier lists, so stick around for that. Wednesday, we've got Crown Channel fans that already know what's up, right? It's Fight Night with Chelsea Bites and Action Jackson in a head-to-head PvP on Lost Ark. Cy's gonna be there to try to help them out, assuming that those two aren't beyond help. We know how that goes. It's gonna be a good, fun time. Thursday is an episode of Crown All-Stars featuring your favorite Crown Channel alumni, Miss Golightly, Red Vector, and BYN. They're gonna each captain a team of 4 to take on a dungeon and a boss battle. See, we've got everything Lost Ark for you already so far, and we're not even done. Because on Friday, there's only one thing left to do. Click download. It's launch day, and we're closing out ArkWeek with a special edition of WWFest with performances by B. Miller and Run the Jewels. And it's all brought to you by LG. So look at this. It's a huge packed week for you all. And thanks to LG for partnering with us on ArkWeek. Now, chat, if you're looking to upgrade your Lost Ark gameplay, consider the lifelike, high dynamic range, stunning contrast, cinematic color, and ultra low latency of an LG Ultra Gear monitor. You're watching ArkWeek on the Crown channel, everyone. So make sure to hit that follow button if you aren't already. Notifications toggled on because, again, like I keep saying, you do not want to miss a single thing. So now it's time. We're about to enter the library with Trisha Hirschberger and friends. Take it away, Trisha.
Hello, Twitch, and welcome to Lore. My name is Trisha Hirschberger, and I will be your host as myself and a team of expert philosophers uncover the vast world of Arcasia before your eyes. So like I said, we've got a select group of game experts known as our philosophers to discuss and debate the exciting particulars of Lost Ark here with you today, while of course preparing you to face the dangers lurking within the world of Arcasia. The latter half of Lore today will be centered around the Lost Ark game developer, known as Gold River, in an exclusive one-on-one interview that I've been seeing, chat. I know a lot of you are very, very excited to see. We are very excited for as well. So I'd like to officially welcome you to the Lorebrary. Now, the Lorebrary is a mythical setting full of hidden corridors and infinite possibilities. And the part of the Lorebrary that we're in right now is the Hall of Heroes. Now, this is the area that is dedicated to the champions of Arcasia and where you will be seeing Gold River in the latter half of the show. However, as the show progresses in just a bit, you'll be able to see another room in our Lorebrary known as the Arcasian Den, which features a round table setting where we will dive into the fantastical world of Lost Ark and the expansive story behind it. Of course, from the history of Arcasia, the story, the various locations, and all of the colorful characters that we will get to meet throughout this world, we're gonna delve into all of it before you get to hit play Lost Ark this Friday. So we're truly excited to kick off ArkWeek with this brand new iteration of Lore. Let's begin. The world of Arcasia has so much to offer. Behind every corner lies a captivating story just waiting to be told. And we are now here in the Arcasian Den, where our amazing philosophers will get to discuss the lore behind the world of Lost Ark. So with that being said, let me introduce you to our panel of game experts. We will start off by introducing Amazon's amazing community broadcast manager. He's been a streamer for 7 years and is incredibly influential in the Lost Ark community here in North America. Please welcome Sci-Fi!
Hello, everybody.
Thank you for being here, Sci-Fi.
I'm excited to be here. I'm really rocking with excitement right now.
I like this, yeah.
I'm just super excited to finally be here and just to be able to talk about the lore that goes into Lost Ark, because there's so much, so I'm really excited for this. Can't wait.
Awesome. And Sai, just to kind of give everyone some background, how many hours would you say you've logged into Lost Ark at this point?
Not too many. I think at this point, maybe like 1,500. You know, just not
too
a
many,
lot,
no big deal, just like 1,500.
Nothing
Well, I
big.
love it. You're like the go-to source for lore, so thank you so much for being here today. Sitting next to Sai, we have another streamer with 7 years experience, very influential in the Twitch space overall, and mainly used to main FPS and Battle Royale, but recently, within the last year or so, found her love for MMORPGs. So all the way from Vegas, Nevada, Kat Conti, thank you for being here today.
No, thank you for having me out. I'm super excited to be talking about Lost Ark with everybody. Not only talking about it, but learning a ton, because I was told I'm sitting here with some really big veterans of the game. So I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, and how many hours would you say that you've got logged into the game at this point? And it's not a competition. We're just trying to get everyone's base level.
With the BR background, everything's a competition. But I don't want to say that I'm the most qualified one at the table, but I'm setting out of, pretty great 2 hours in the game.
So you got to play the beta.
I got to play the beta, but in a different way than everybody else. I got to play some high-level dungeons.
Love it.
Yeah, so I'm excited to talk about that.
Yes, and we are very excited that you are excited to be here to talk about it. All right, moving on, sitting next to Kat, we have all the way from Frankfurt City, Germany, who has been playing on the Russian Lost Ark servers for almost a year now, yes. And an artillerist main, we have Seti Tool. Welcome, Seti.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here. Honestly, just looking at this amazing set, I think it was already worth the flight, to be honest.
You're happy with the library?
Yes, very much so. It's amazing.
And Seti, how many hours would you say that you've logged into Lost Ark at this point? What is your knowledge base?
So I didn't really check, but it's probably 3K plus hours.
I was gonna guess that it was something that high. I was like, Seti might be our most experienced player at the table, which is awesome, but I think it's nice that we have this kind of variety, you know, of folks coming into this, because of course that represents the variety that we're going to have in chat as well. And then at the end of our table, we have two lovely individuals who stream under the handle Decker Games here on Twitch. They're a married couple who you may recognize from, I don't know, things like True Blood, Cyberpunk 2077, and, you know, maybe Detroit Become Human. Please welcome Amelia and Brian Descartes. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yay, so happy to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. It's so exciting to have you here, and I think especially as we're doing this event to get into the lore of Lost Ark, representing all over the world, because you guys are relatively new to Lost Ark, correct?
Totally new.
Yeah, between the two of us, we have 3,000 hours less than Seti.
Okay, perfect, yes. But you have seen the trailers, you read up on it, and you are here because you're excited to learn more.
We're all about
Yes.
it. Thank you, philosophers, for teaching us all that you know.
Well, and that's what today is all about, right? So we're going to be sharing our opinions, sharing the lore that we know, and getting everyone at home and everyone who's watching this ready to hit play Lost Ark this Friday on release. So at this point, before we delve into our topics, let's take a little closer look at Lost Ark.
First there was the Ark, and from it a new world was born. Arcasia. To safeguard its future, fight your way across Lutera, the kingdom of knights, to explore its history and haunting landscapes. At Wavestrand Port, you'll claim your ship and sail out to discover all that Arcasia has to offer. Take your crew to Annika and the port city of Chengun. Their martial arts tournament is famous for attracting the most skilled martial artists in the world. Deep in the arid deserts of Arthertime lies the city of Stan, a technological marvel. With that technology comes absolute power. But absolute power corrupts absolutely. At the foot of the Balankar Mountain sits Van, the kingdom of Queen Aelin. But an ancient evil from Arcasia's past lurks in the dark woods of the Elven Forest. Shoeshire is as dangerous as it is freezing cold, and made even worse by its heartless warden Vrad.
Your humble servant offers you a sacrifice.
But the demon's corruption has reached even this frigid place. The isolated land of Rowendell. Cross the Rainbow Bridge to gain entry to its magical secrets. And looming above it all is the Phantom Palace. Yorn is home to the Umar, a proud race of industrious crafters. But their pride may also be their downfall, as they risk awakening a long dormant evil. In the dark shadows of Phaeton, it's kill or be killed. And if you survive this realm of half-demon assassins, dark secrets await all who travel into the Cave of Sin. Lost Ark is a world of endless adventure, and Arcasia needs your help. You must assemble the Ark and fight for the light.
I am so in love with the look of this game. I mean, even in that trailer that we just got to see, I feel like we saw so many different types of locations that each have their own like living, breathing feel to them, almost as if the locations are characters in and of themselves. So let's go ahead and kick it off with our first topic of discussion today, and that will be the world of Arcasia itself. And I'm gonna start everybody off with this question. Of all locations in Arcasia, which one has the most interesting lore, in your opinion? And I'll kick the, Sai, I'll hand this to you.
This is a good question. For me personally, well, so the entire game, all the regions, all the continents, there are 11 different continents. They all have their own like just cool lore in itself. But for me, I like Tortoik.
Okay.
Tortoik is like a whole. It's an island that you actually sail to when you first start journeying to find your second arc, and you learn so much about this island. You learned about the giants and how they originally helped to defend the world against the first demon legion that comes in. And then you learn also that the island is actually the last giant. Okay, we're about to dive deep. We're gonna go deep right now.
Also, let's
We're gonna
give
go
a
real deep.
disclaimer that we're not giving out main story spoilers. Sai is
Yes.
an expert at doing side quests and has like farmed all of this data to share with you today. So.
I'm a side quester. I am.
let
So
us know.
You know, and when you do side quests, you find out a lot of the story. So originally, these giants, they actually helped defend Arcasia against the Demon Legion. They all rest at the bottom of the sea. And Tortoik is the last giant who decides to rest above the sea.
Okay.
And when you land on this island, you find made up of different races, little tiny makokos, redfin pirates, bees. And as you journey to go find your ark, you start realizing, like, wait, there's a hand here. And as you travel around and progress to the top of the island, you finally discover that it's actually Tortoik, the last giant, who's just sleeping. So you go through this whole mission of trying to figure out what exactly is this island, why are the people that even live here, why are they even here? And it's very important in finding the arcs. So that's all I can really say, because any more it's gonna spoil it. I don't spoil it for y'all.
No, definitely not spoilers. So to the rest of our philosophers, would you agree that Tortoik is the location with the most interesting lore? I see Seti making a face.
I knew we were gonna have a fight about this, but yeah, to me personally, I think Arthetine is the clear winner. It's this super cool steampunk universe, world, continent, whatever you want to call it, where you have the Psykin, which are people who have adapted to a very hostile environment in a barren wasteland, and they have no magic, but I don't really want to spoil.
Again,
but they
no spoilers.
They have no magic like the other continents, and so they adapted by starting to use technology. And for example, they might have, instead of a normal arm, they might have a machine arm or something like that. And I think this really fascinating. Also, the areas in that continent, especially the city of Stern, is just amazing and so tightly packed with all kinds of side quest lore that, I just think it's a really, really cool space to explore.
And I love that it's like, we get a cyberpunk influence on one hand, and then on the other hand, it's almost like I feel like folklore like we see in, I don't know, it makes me think of the island in Moana, of the woman sleeping is the island in Moana. But there's so many crossover with so many other types of fiction. And chat, we're gonna ask, of course, your opinion too. Pull up a chair at this table. You are also a member of this conversation, so we're gonna get a poll up for you asking, between the two locations mentioned, which you might choose as having the most interesting lore. Make sure to vote now in chat, and we will include you in the conversation as well. So to Kat, to Amelia, and Brian, no bribing, no bribing. To Kat, Amelia, and Brian, would you agree with the answers so far, or would you maybe pipe in with something else?
I mean, just based solely on the descriptions, I love anything having to do with nature. Ladybugs sound amazing. I would love to ride on one. Give me Fern Gully, give me Avatar. So I would have to say that I would choose your continent.
Tortoise.
I know, I feel like I'd hate to pick sides here too, but I feel like I'm gonna side with Sai as well.
You guys have to see Arthur Time for yourself.
Just based on my instances of the game, like I did the dungeon and I was small and miniature, and you were saying that there's little munchkins running around.
Yeah, you ride around on a ladybug.
Yes,
I just think that right there. But let me say, Arthurtine is really cool because when I started doing side quests, I started figuring out that Arcasia, Pride Home, is like where most of the archbishops come from.
Right, yeah.
And before, you're looking for the Ark right now, in the past 500 years prior, the Sacrian order, which makes up like most of the archbishops, they actually were banished. And they were banished to Arthurtine. So there's a whole reason why they start messing with these machines and, taking off an arm. And now they have machine arms, because they had no access to magic.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's actually a really, really cool, Tortoise still, but, Arthurtine is cool.
I'm all for the cyberpunk aesthetic as well. Yes, in chat, keep putting A and B for the poll. That would be awesome. But, I think a lot of what's enveloped in this conversation is not just what has the most interesting lore, but a lot of us are weighing in on like the look that we like the best and the feel we like the best. From a game design perspective, what do you think is the coolest continent or coolest location in Arcasia?
Well, I think it's really cool how much variety is in Lost Ark. Just based on the trailer, there's so many different kinds of worlds that would appeal to so many different types of players. So it seems like whatever you want, there's something in Arcasia for you. Is it Arcasia or Arcasia?
Right.
That's been a debate.
Arcasia is how I've been told that we are pronouncing it today. But I say tomato, whatever feels right to you.
I say Arcasia.
That is the Arcasia for you, is what I would say. Do you think that there's any particular locations in Arcasia that are more difficult to traverse than others? I know, Seti, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. You had mentioned that there's one location that has a lot of bridges that just takes a bit to get through.
Right, yeah. I mean, we have Phaeton, Phaeton now, it used to be Phaeton. And they have like a lot of bridges, which is like maybe a little bit more difficult and takes more time, but honestly, it's kind of worth it because it's this beautiful Dark Souls-esque place, and it's just amazing.
What's this frozen tundra place with those ice beasts?
Oh, Shushire?
What is it, Shushire?
Shushire, I think you mean Shushire.
Is this a horrible place to go, or is it?
Brian wants to know before he starts playing on Friday.
I'm just gonna plan a vacation. I'm not gonna stop by if there's too many beasts.
You can skip it if you want.
Don't skip it, bro.
I would never skip it. I would never skip it.
Here's the side quest guy saying, don't skip anything.
I'm just saying, I saw this dragon, and there's some serious beasts out there. And I'm guessing that every different continent has its own, creatures coming for us.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why, you go to Shushire and it's like this frozen tundra and like hard to like even navigate through it. And I was actually gonna mention about Arthurtine. We have different play styles because like I'm into all like I can ride around on a ladybug, this is dope. And when I went to Arthurtine, it reminded me a lot of like Final Fantasy VII.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think that's your style, but that's what I love about Lost Ark.
Yeah, I have this whole tinfoil theory about it actually being Midgar.
We love tinfoil hat theories on lore. Please tell us all about it. How is that area Midgard?
Well, it's just because, there's so many little things. I probably don't know them off of my head, but so we have this wasteland and the people are trying to survive there by using technology, and they have this huge technical plant thingy that they use to like extract or get life force so they can live there. That's very Mako reactor.
Sure.
Then you have the Psykin. Barrett, look at Barrett. He could be a Psykin, right?
Sure.
And then you have just the aesthetics as well. The machinery looks like Magitags, and even the signs in the city of Stern, they have like this weird, interesting, cute little script that's not really like normal script, and it looks like the script they use in Final Fantasy VII. And yeah, a lot of other stuff, like they have an orphanage storyline and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's incredible.
It is. I got those same vibes too.
Yeah.
Still Tortoik, though. I'm very biased because it's my favorite island. I do a lot of my
do we
side
have a heads up on what chat decided? Oh, Tortoik is what chat decided in the poll. So chat has weighed in as well. And of course, I saw someone just say, I'm checking my name in the background. Yes, you are a part of the show. You are right here in the Lore Brewery with us. So feel free to chime in on the lore discussions as much as you can. I do want to ask everybody, what info regarding the world of Arcasia itself do you think is vital for new players to know? If someone watching has never played Lost Ark before, is there anything about the locations that you think they should know before jumping in? And Brian and Amelia, I'm sure you'll be taking notes.
I'm taking notes.
Getting ready. Here we
right on
go.
my head.
What do you think?
I think that I'm a side quester. I would just say just take your time and like,
Okay.
don't, because a lot of players, especially those that have been playing the game for years, they will say, play the game and just focus on main quests, like just rush through it, get to end game. And that's fun.
That's me.
That is Kat, she does. And then meanwhile, I'm just like, hey Kat, let's go do these side quests. And like, you wanna go help me find Makoko seeds?
Let's do affinity stuff. with the
Yeah,
characters.
but
Yeah.
at the same time, that's how the rapport quests. I was doing rapport quests the other day and I ended up helping
You should do Sasha's.
a really important character look for a wife. And I was like, whoa, I'm like helping this dude get married?
Matchmaker?
I'm the middleman.
So
And
is a
I'm the
rapport
wingman.
quest like a...
Affinity.
It's essentially like dating,
Yeah.
but not really
In a way.
dating, but you like build a relationship with the NPCs, with important NPCs.
And then at the end of it, when you build, when you complete all the missions, you actually have your own island that you can build up. And it reminds me so much of like my favorite games where it's like, oh, I could just sit here and just like put, furniture around my island and invite my friends over, like Animal Crossing.
That's like
We're in Animal Crossing, but it's a dating sim too.
And I love this. I love it. And so I'm inviting these people to my island. Hey, hey man, I've been doing these missions for you for like 3 months, bro. You want to come live in my island? And they're like, yeah. I show up and they're there, and it's really cool. But I would just say, just play the game how you want to play it. Take your time, because there's so much going on in the game. I love it.
Well, just even, talking about the various worlds that you can go into, it does sound like there's something in it a little bit for everyone, which is awesome. And now that we've chatted, I wish we could continue chatting more about the world of Arcasia, but there's so much more in this game to discuss. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of a closer look at the story in Lost Ark.
Welcome to Lost Ark, a free-to-play MMO action RPG experience set in the massive world of Arcasia. You'll create unique and powerful characters, customize their look and feel, enhance your skills, acquire new and powerful weapons, explore solo or party up with friends. And that's just the beginning of the adventure in Lost Ark. Before you jump into all that Arcasia has to offer, you'll have to select your class. Lost Ark features 5 unique character classes, and each class has a choice of powerful advanced classes, giving you the freedom to play exactly how you want to. Every advanced class features a distinct set of abilities that allow you to specialize even further. No matter which unique class combo you choose, you'll have the ability to take on whatever Arcasia throws at you. Using the unique tripod system, you'll acquire skill points and customize your abilities to fit your playstyle. Each combat skill can be further upgraded 3 times to create hundreds of different combinations of unique and powerful abilities. Make your skills hit harder, fly farther, and cast faster, depending on how you want to play. There's no end to Lost Ark's rich story, detailed quests, and engaging characters. Arcasia is a massive and mysterious world, under attack by powerful demonic forces who are trying to find the Ark, a powerful artifact that keeps the universe in balance. Kazaros, Lord of the Abyss, wants to use the power of the Ark to escape his volcanic prison and blanket the world in darkness. You'll have to quest, collect, fight, and explore to rediscover the lost secrets of Arcasia and assemble the Ark, restore its power, and defeat the demon army. Whether you play with a guild, a group of friends, or solo, there's no end to the adventures you'll have in Lost Ark.
We are back here in the library, and there is just so much around to check out. I got a little distracted during the break. I mean, check out these battle axes. I'm probably not supposed to touch them, so you know what? I'll just go right back to my seat. But welcome back to Lore, everybody. It's such an honor to have you here. Now, that video that we just watched covered 2 of our lore topics that we're going to discuss, both the story behind the world of Arcasia, as well as the fascinating characters and classes that are therein. But we're gonna just put a little hold on the character discussion for right now while we do a deep dive into the interesting story behind Arcasia. So for those who don't know or who are new to the property, having been confined for 500 years, the volcano used to imprison Kazaros is nearing eruption. Danger is looming. We hope that you're ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Lost Ark's story is vast and full of countless details, and our philosophers will now get a chance to dive into this topic. So for my first question for the philosopher panel today, what is the most important piece of lore in all of Lost Ark? You know, not a difficult question or anything like that, but the most important piece of lore. Okay, Kat, you just said that's an easy question.
That's the easiest
Take
question.
it, my friend.
Well,
what is it?
The Ark. It's lost. We must find it. Yeah. We must find the Ark. But no, seriously, the reason why it is so important to the story is because it is the reason why the universe exists. It is the reason why that these characters exist. It's the reason why Kazaros exists. So it is essentially an artifact that even the people that live in Arcasia think doesn't even exist anymore because they're lost and nobody's seen it for, I believe, like 500 years. So it's a pretty important part of the whole entirety of the thing.
Yeah, I would say so, for sure. I mean, not only is it your main driving force as you progress through the story, but also it informs so much about the various locations, how everything came to be, etc. So I love that answer. Does anyone else have an answer they'd like to throw in the ring besides the Ark for the most important piece of lore in Lost Ark? Thinking about it? I know it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
I mean, yeah, the Ark, definitely. Where are these Arks?
Good meeting, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, good meeting. The
I
Ark
would probably
is
say
definitely
Kazaros also.
Okay, let's throw
He's
in
trapped.
Kazaros. Tell us about
He's trying
Kazaros.
So Kazaros is man, this is a lot of backstory here, but Kazaros actually, when Regulus is the god of Omnium, he makes the universe as he uses the beginning light to make the world of light. There's a world of chaos that is also created. And initially, there's a god of this chaos. His name is Zazma. So Zazma is the Lord of Chaos. They invade Arcasia the first time, and this is when they get pushed back by gods and Regulus. And the second time, Kazaros actually comes out of this abyss. So Zazma is in control of the world of chaos. And at this time, the abyss is created. And this is when Kazaros emerges. So Kazaros actually gathers demons and they take over Zazma's throne. So he's not the original Lord of Chaos.
Okay.
He actually kills Zazma, takes his throne, kicks all of the demons out, makes his own legions, assigns his own commanders to this legion, and he also makes the Red Moon. So if y'all saw in that trailer, that Red Moon was a failed attempt to create the sun. The sun is eternal, and the Ark was used to make the sun. And so Kazaros trying to figure out how the heck can I get this? Because this Red Moon ain't working. And when he makes the Red Moon, someone approaches him, one of the last demons that he kicks out approaches him and says, the red moon won't last forever. It's not eternal like the sun. And this is when he starts envying Regulus and the Ark and just becomes just driven on just getting this Ark. And another cool thing about Khazros, now he's in prison, and the reason for his imprisonment is, I'm so sorry, I'm going deep.
I love this side like the Arcasian
Yeah.
historian at the table. And again, for those in chat that are like, are these spoilers?
Yeah, someone said that.
I
Are
saw
they?
some people saying that they're a bit of spoilers, but from
Not really.
my experience talking to Sai is that almost everything you know, it's because you've like
Side
researched
quests.
and grinded the heck out of the side quests.
And you know what's so funny is that when you talk to players that have played the game, a majority of them will tell you to not do side quests. But this is how you
Cat's
learn.
laughing because you're that gamer.
Cat's like,
we
huh?
know.
And and so when you do the side quests and you're trying to 100% each continent, which a lot of players don't do.
Yeah.
You learn about these races and why this entire race of people have these pumpkins on their head and why these Makokos live with these pirates on this island.
Yeah.
And it's all from the side quests.
And
I love
other
it.
stuff as well. Like item descriptions are super cool. When you do their adventure quests, which I totally recommend everyone to do it. It's so much fun, it's so cool. You learn so much about the world. Also, Rapport gives you a lot of insight about some of it as well.
You know Cal's? He's one of the Cal's.
While you're thinking about
one
it,
of
I want to
the
let
Black Fang
everybody in
Pirates.
chat know that we are going to ask your opinion on this as well. Whether you think the most important bit of lore in Lost Ark is the Ark or is Khazros. Of course, you can type A or B in chat to let us know your thoughts. That is going up now. Continue, my friend.
Oh, so Cal's. You know Cal's from the Black Fang Pirates.
Black Fang, yeah.
Okay, so he's kind of like he's a jerk. Like when you first get your first ship and he's just like,
I love that.
like, who are you? Like, he's like, he doesn't want you there. But then you
love
start
him.
doing report missions from
Yeah.
him. And he ends up being a cool dude that has his whole backstory as to why he's a butt face. But
I loved him being a butt face. I like those characters.
once I did his quest, I was like, oh, you're just cool, man. You're just a cool dude. Just has a troubled upbringing, but he's a cool dude. But
Well, so Sai, your big thing is do the side quest. You're going to get all this additional lore, but I want to hear a little bit from Kat and Amelia and Brian as well. Kat, you say, nah, wait, just main quest it and get through. Is that because you're trying to grind and get more powerful before you do other stuff? Or what is your impetus for just completing the main quest?
It's so I can do the high level stuff. I mean, endgame is probably the most fun.
It is.
Okay.
Of like almost any MMO, so I just normally just try to race through levels.
And
yeah.
Then Brian and Amelia, would you consider yourself the type of player that needs to collect every bit of lore like it's kind of a cheese and charcuterie board? Or are you the like, just get right through it, I'm here for the end game?
I mean, I definitely like a charcuterie board of lore and side quests. I don't have to get all the cheese, but most of the cheese I like because I feel like it gives me a really full experience of the story. And I like, people put so much time into making these games and into making all of these, the side quests and the backstories of the worlds. I want to know. I want to get into it. So give me most of the cheese.
Brian, how are you on cheese?
I've been married to this woman for a while, and I can tell you that she will collect every piece of loot available. If there's any of these rocks left on the table when we leave, it'll be amazing. She's just slipping them each into her purse.
Yep.
I don't know. I think I'm with Sai, where I want to go on the side quest and build up my character, and then be really powerful and feel super confident about it, so that I can either like go down a blaze of glory. A blaze of glory is what I meant to say. But I just feel like you want to. I don't know. I have a richer experience when I'm dealing with the main story quest when I know more about the world around it, which is why something like the lore berry is super cool.
Also, some of the endgame content, like the Legion raids, for example, are much, much more enjoyable if you actually know the backstory about who they are and why they are there and why you're fighting them in the first place.
Sure, yeah. Well, it seems like chat has weighed in and that Ark is the most important piece of lore in Lost Ark. So congratulations, Kat, for your imaginary internet points on winning that section of this very, very heated Loreberry debate, which is not at all very heated. It's just a bunch of friends chatting about a game. But yes, thank you for bringing that in, and thank you, chat, for your opinion on that as well. I do want to ask to the panel, for those of you that do know a lot of that kind of extra story, is there any bit of story lore that you wish you had known before you started playing the game that might be good for new players to know before they dive in on Friday?
Yeah, I wish I just actually started figuring this out like within the last 2-3 months, but this isn't the first time. Like Kat said, 500 years have passed. They don't even know that the Ark, if it even exists, but they also don't know this has happened before in the past. Guardians were created to defend Arcasia before, and before that, Zazma had invaded and was trying to get the Ark. And so there were already 2 wars prior to this 500 years of just peace.
So you wish you had some of that prior war history before diving in the first time?
Yeah, definitely. Because when I first played, I knew that 500 years had passed, but I didn't know
Since what?
Yeah, since what? What's going on? What are the Arks,
Okay, cool. Anybody else? Anything that you wish you had known before diving in?
I just think it's really cool that Kazaros is stuck in a mountain, but it's just his physical form. So I think it's really cool to know that his physical form is in Arcasia, and then his spirit or soul is in Petrania. So that's just kind of a cool tidbit.
So you know your stuff.
Thank you.
I don't know my stuff. So when we're talking about this, okay, we got the world of light, we've got the Ark, and we've created Arcasia, and we've got this volcano-dwelling, demon-summoning, dark shadow entity. Are we talking literally under the ground and the Titans are down in Hades, or is it a split parallel dimension and this is existing on Earth in the same time? Are we?
It's 2 dimensions.
Yes, it is.
It's a dimension of light that was created, and then thus, because it's kind of light and shadow, a dark world was also created called Petrania.
So this is all happening parallel to each other?
I don't know how many of you are deep into Witcher lore, but is it kind of like spheres colliding in Witcher lore?
The conjunction.
The conjunction. Thank you, Brian.
I'm with you.
Yeah, that's how I envision it at least. But I think what it comes down to, Brian, is we're just going to have to play more of the game.
But I can tell you this, though, is that Kazaros, he's in this volcano, but when they battle, Kazaros, his soul is in another area. So they actually move him because the chains that are holding him are starting to break. So they end up having to move him underneath this volcano. So that's why he's
extra layer of security.
They're we gotta drop him down deeper because this is crazy. He's gonna bust him.
And he's probably getting more powerful down there too. If I've seen anybody survive under a volcano.
And his demon, he creates 7 demon legions. He assigns the demons, who you were talking about the SETI, you start getting into those raids, but if you learn about these demons, you start learning they want him to come back so bad. Belshazzar, who's the smartest demon, demons have tried to take her throne and she'll find out and kill him, and it's just so much going on, but they really want him to come back.
There is so much going on, and I think to kind of wrap up this conversation, what we can say is there is a lot of story to unfold. So whether you go through and grind all the side quests to get every little piece of lore, or whether you want to just get to that end game lore, because that sounds really exciting too, play as you will. So that wraps up our conversation on story, but we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be right back to delve into the interesting characters in the world of Lost Ark. Stay tuned. Wait, you're doing this live?
Saikuno, this is it. You've got it.
Say hi to the people, Carl.
Today we're playing solitaire. This is something crazy.
This is the place to be.
Chat is going absolutely well.
Bro, I'm hyped.
Let's go.
I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, the world of Lost Ark offers a wide array of heroes to choose from. No matter what your play style is, each character has various abilities and skills, fitting really for all different types of gameplay. And in addition, every hero has a unique story, introducing players to the different continents and further expanding upon the lore of Lost Ark. So let's move into our final discussion topic, the characters. So I throw this out to the panel, and if any of you has a strong opinion on it, let me know. But which hero class has the best backstory? Seti, you're smiling, so I feel like you're
because I know.
waiting to go.
Because I know me and Sai, we always have different opinions on this. To me, I mean, I'm kind of biased, but for me, it's the Gunner again, because the Gunner has such a cool story. It's like this classic hero or maybe even anti-hero storyline is really cool, and the whole story is kind of I know it's kind of tragic but also cool because you are this person and you and your partner slash friend, you are going up against this crazy scientist. By the way, again, Hojo, you know, Final Fantasy reference, but but you go against this crazy scientist and your partner dies during that mission, and so during this introduction, it's kind of the hero, the Gunner, having this monologue, but kind of like talking to his partner who passed away. And then after he actually manages to defeat that crazy scientist and rescues Arthetine, he goes out and ventures into the world, and he's like, oh, drinks are on me next time, to his like passed away body, which is like really cute to me.
All right, so strong,
this is not spoilers.
Strong contender for the Gunner at this point. I know I got to play a little bit in closed network test, and I had just had so much fun going through each of the class backstories to decide who I wanted to be, because of course I'm deciding based on lore and backstory alone, which probably play styles should be taken into account, but I'm a big lore geek, so that's right, you know, it's on brand for me, if you will. So we've got a strong play there for Gunner. Are there any other classes that you would say would make a good play for best hero class backstory?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I knew you were gonna say the Gunner because he's from Arthetine, so she gonna go with him.
Big steampunk, cyberpunk, yeah.
And this is not a spoiler because, I mean, to be honest, I hope y'all don't skip the prologues. It's only like 3 or 4 minutes. Don't skip the prologues, but I really like the martial artist. And I didn't really like him until I actually journeyed to Annika and I started doing side quests. And I realized that one of the original Guardians, actually, there were 2 fighters who actually created Annika, and they left Annika to a fighter, and they both retired with this Guardian. And so they're living with the Guardian, and they give Annika to, I forget his name, but he's the one that starts up these tournaments. And so as the martial artist, it's like every anime ever, tournament, you win the tournament, boom, you're worthy, go out, do these missions. And so you win as the martial artist, and you start journeying out to find these arcs.
Cool.
And I really like that because that Guardian is just like really cool to me.
Well, and I love that depending on like the genres that appeal to you specifically, like Sai, you're really into anime, so the martial artist makes sense to you. Seti, you are super into like cyberpunk, kind of that future dystopia, so the Gunner really appeals to you. Folks, we're gonna put a poll up for chat to decide between Gunner and martial artist, so make sure that you type A or B in chat. Get your votes in so that your opinion can be heard as well. What does the rest of our panel think? Kat, do you have a favorite hero based on lore alone, or do you normally pick your hero off of something else?
I will skip the cinematics for any kind of backstory. Normally when it comes to picking a character, I'm just that person. I'm the person where I will pick the flashiest, coolest looking character and play that.
And in your opinion, what do you think is the flashiest, coolest looking character?
I love the martial artist. I know that I keep citing, I'm so sorry, Seti, but I mean, I get to get in there and I have fire on my fists. And there's fire coming from my hands, so that's why I like the class. It's flashy.
Very cool. And Brian and Amelia, I know you got a chance to look into the world a little bit. Do you have a class that immediately caught your eye, Amelia?
Well, my first instinct was for mage because I love magic and to get to connect with nature. But then after watching what each of the different characters can do, the martial artist seems very, very intriguing to me. I mean, that seems epic. To fists of glory and kicks of fire and fierceness. I mean, yeah.
Very cool. Brian, do you think you will be joining in the martial artist fandom at the table, or would you go a different direction?
Don't let me down.
I won't let you down. I mean, not to make it either or. I think it's cool also that there are these advanced classes, so you can, like it's subclasses or advanced classes. I mean, it's a division of. I mean, for me, I'm always generally favoring being at a ranged distance so that I can flee. But I don't know, I think the artillerist is fascinating to me, which I guess goes with the gunner. I mean, everything exploding and, it's just, to me, that's just a lot of fun because video games, you get to be something that you're not all the time. And I guess I'm not really, a gunner or a martial artist. But I don't know, to me, it's just like in real life, I would not be interested to set up a mortar and watch it go. But in a video game, let it rip.
Absolutely, and I will say that chat sided with Gunner, so chat sided with SETI. Thank you so much, everybody, for weighing in on that poll. When I played, and I'm only 2 to 3 hours into the game myself, thanks to the closed network test here in North America, but when I played, I went Shadowhunter Assassin because I really like a good outcast backstory. I want the person that's been shunned, so you're doing good, but people, don't want to trust you. That's what I always choose in tabletop RPGs, so that's my go-to. Now, that being said, I'm gonna have to spend a lot more time in the game to figure out if the skill set and gameplay kind of matches my normal skill set and gameplay. So when it comes to choosing a hero class based on skill set and based on mechanics, do you think that there's one hero class that might be a little easier for newcomers to jump into than others? Kat?
I think just based on my small experience in the game, I've played the Elementalist, which is now the Sorcerer, I believe, and then I played the female gunner.
Gunslinger.
Gunslinger, thank you. I played the Gunslinger and I played the Striker. Cool. So it's kind of an array of classes I've played. And let me tell you, playing what's the female gunner? See, I don't even remember because Gunslinger was the hardest thing I've ever done. Because you sift through 3 weapons and you have to manage cooldowns and combos, or something like the Striker, I could beat my head on my keyboard and still do okay. I could just spam my cooldowns. So I preferred something a bit easier just because something like the Gunslinger is just it's more intricate and you have to learn your combos.
So yeah, with the Gunslinger, you might have to spend a little bit more time to master those skills, whereas you said the Striker is the more easy to jump into class, in your opinion?
Yeah, so for me, it was a lot easier. So it's just because it's burst damage.
Okay.
You build up a meter and then you pretty much blow it all.
I see Infini in chat said, I want the hardest class in the game. Can anyone else weigh in as to what you think might be the hardest class to master in Lost Ark?
So I think with all of the classes you have, and the subclasses, you have maybe a little bit one of an easier one, and then maybe one that has more of a high skill ceiling with all of them. So for example, if you look at the fighters, for example, I would say the Scrapper is probably a little bit easier to learn, whereas maybe if you compare it to the Soul Fist, it's a little bit more complicated. Or if you look, for example, at the Warriors, maybe you're gonna wanna pick a paladin to begin with, maybe not as a DPS paladin, guys, but but maybe pick a paladin instead of maybe going with a gun lancer immediately. Or for example, if you're going with the gunners, if you guys want a class that has a super high skill ceiling that is really, really difficult to really master, but when you do, it's super rewarding, then go for the Deadeye. But if you want something easier, then maybe go for the Sharpshooter it is now, the Hawkeye, I think? Yeah. Sharpshooter, right, yeah. So play that one, or also maybe the Artillerist, which is my main class, but it's not really that difficult, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, I had a different experience because I think the hardest class is the Bard. And I think it's just because of my playstyle, I'm not really used to supporting. And so with the Bard, that was the only class where I had to read every single move. Oh, reading helps too.
Yeah.
Reading is fundamental.
Reading is important, so the Bard is the support class, or one of the support
healer,
classes? Okay, great,
and,
yep.
Yeah, it was just very hard for me. I really had to sit down, look at every single move, because you can't, you might want to have healing moves that heal. Then I looked at the Paladin, same kind of support, but then he can buff his enemies or his friends' attack, or
he's a bit easier, yeah.
A little easier, but I thought the Bard was really hard to understand because I was I really want to be the best healer, but I gave up.
I think the cool thing about this game is that I really encourage everyone to try out all the classes, because when I first started to play, I usually go for the, bulky, big dudes, tanky, beefy DPSs. definitely a melee person. So I went with the Gunlancer. That was my first class that the Warlord it was before. And I played through the whole story with it and I loved it. And then for the beta, I actually chose the Artillerist just so I could showcase something else. And I actually thought I was gonna hate it. And it became my main because I fell in love with it. And I think each one of the classes they bring so much to the table. And I think anyone could try any of them and fall in love, really.
Can any class have the multicolored fox pet? Like, are there any limitations on what I can do with this? Like, what's going on with the pets?
Sophia. Yeah, you're talking about Sophia. So Sophia is one of the pets that will come with the Founders Pack.
I was gonna say, don't we have Twitch drops?
Yeah, those are Twitch drops.
Right on cue.
But yeah, and the pets, like, they really come in handy because I remember I played with Kat.
Yeah.
And we both didn't have pets. And
We
then
didn't know about it.
I told her, I was like, oh my God, we got pets.
We didn't know. We had run a dungeon.
Yeah.
Did you pick your stuff physically?
Yes. Remember?
Okay, so explain this a little
Okay.
bit for folks that don't know. Yes, your pets are
Yes.
adorable, but also they serve function in the game.
Yes.
Yes, it's a pretty important function. So they stat pad you. They add stats to your build. That's so important. Okay, but I think the most important part is that it actually picks up your loot for you.
Amelia.
There you go.
Perfect, you love loot.
I do. I do. So are there many different kinds of pets? Tell me all about the animals.
Yeah. It gets pretty crazy. That's a rabbit hole because, yeah, you can have a rabbit. You can have a
seagull. You can have a little magic tag.
Do you pick or do they find you?
You get them.
You get them.
Can I have like a creepy dragon?
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday that just like freaks people out. All right, folks, we have had a chance to delve deep into the story, the locations within Arcasia, and now the characters. And I wish that we just had more time because I could sit around this table and just chat lore with you folks all day. Thank you so much for this discussion. Unfortunately, we're reaching the end of our roundtable philosopher discussion portion of the lore show today. But before we say goodbye to our philosophers, I would love to ask you each what you've been up to, where people can find you. Brian and Amelia, if people want to follow you online, where is the best place to do that?
They can hang out with us on Twitch. We stream on twitch.tv/DeckardGames, and we're playing some Resident Evil and some Forbidden West coming up.
Yes, and we're also both on Instagram and Twitter and maybe TikTok.
Do you
Poll in the chat.
You probably don't have any, and I'm asking a question you can't answer, but do you have any upcoming appearances in anything people could watch or maybe hear you in that you can talk about?
Oh, I wish I could say right now because the answer is yes, but I am not allowed to say exactly, but please stay posted with us because we have some exciting things coming down the pipeline, and
Yeah.
I know that you usually do, so I had to ask. Thank you both so much for being here today. This has been lovely.
Thank you.
Seti, where can people find you?
Well, first and foremost, most importantly, if the EU gang is still in chat, you can find me on Kadan or Chadan. And also you can find me anywhere on just Setito. And mostly I stream on Twitch and I stream LostArk. So.
Who's that you brought with you?
Yeah, and I brought my little Tokoko guy here. He's my scuffed Mokoko. He's actually signed by the director as well, which is super nice.
So cool.
You can get this guy in my panels on my stream as well.
We always welcome a show and tell portion of Lore, so thank you for bringing that, and thank you for being here today, all the way from Germany.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So lovely to have your voice on the panel, so thank you. Kat, where can people find you online?
You can pretty much find me at Kat Conti. I stream on Twitch. I have like a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok that I kind of love too. But pretty much, you can find me on Twitch streaming my new love of MMOs. I'll be checking out LostArk. So make sure to tune in.
Yay, perfect. And Sai, I know everyone who's watching ArkWeek this week is going to see a lot of you as one of the official co-hosts of ArkWeek. So you'll get to see a lot more of Sai. But if you want to follow Sai's personal channel or further streams outside of ArkWeek, where can they do that?
So you can follow me. I'll be streaming weekly on twitch.tv/PlayLostArk. My personal channel is sci-fi, and then on Twitter it's that guy sci-fi. Oh, and also someone in the chat said you can even have an egg. Yes, and that's a dope side quest. The eggs of creation. Do that side quest. It's so cool. That's
and if you have questions about side quests, Sai is the guy to reach out to. Absolutely. Well, again, just thank you to this panel of philosophers. This has been such a fun and wonderful discussion, and I hope helped to prepare everybody at home to get on in to Lost Ark this Friday when it launches. Now, coming up next, we will sit down for an exclusive one-on-one interview with Gold River. But first, a word from the official ArkWeek studio with info on drops, giveaways, and more. We'll be right back.
It's looking like a good old time over there. Everybody's crushing it. Hype's in chat for our guy, Cy, right now. I'm Lisa Malambry, AKA Lucy May, and it's time to give away more Founders Packs. Enter !ArkWeek in chat right now. You've got 2 minutes, so enter fast. We're gonna be doing these giveaways every day this week, multiple times during each show, so don't worry, you'll have plenty of opportunities for a random winner to receive one of these randomly as a Founders Pack ranging, of course, this bronze, silver, gold, platinum. You know, good luck on that. And if you win, we're gonna whisper you within 10 minutes of closing the giveaway. And you must reply to that whisper by the end of the show. And that time is at 7 p.m. Pacific. Now, if you don't reply by then, which is 7 p.m. Pacific time, we will draw another random winner. So to win a Founders Pack, you must be 18 or over and a U.S. resident. Now, if that's you, hurry and enter !ArkWeek in chat right now. Good luck. Now, while you're eagerly awaiting a whisper from Crown, we're going to take a moment to thank our friends at LG for sponsoring ArkWeek. LG's family of Ultra Gear monitors have nano IPS technology that features nanometer-sized particles that enhance color and quality and consistency. I mean, all while achieving 1 millisecond response time. On-screen gaming controls as well, which include crosshair, black stabilizer, and dynamic action sync. So scan this QR code on your screen right now for more info on why LG's Ultra Gear monitors were the #1 gaming designed monitor in the US in 2021. But only after you check out these beauties. Welcome back to ArkWeek on the Crown channel. Now we're about halfway through our Lost Ark lore episode, and we've given away lots of Founders Packs already. So congratulations if you're one of today's lucky winners. You can head over to playlostark.com for details on what items come in each different pack. And a reminder that drops are also enabled to claim a Saphia pet chest. Beautiful, these are so adorable. I need one for myself, please. Now before we head back to the library, let's talk about what's happening for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, it's a hefty 6-hour episode of Starting Zones. We'll be watching individual playthroughs of streamers Lyric, Saikuno, and Somerset as they battle their way through Arcasia. Plus, Cy Batiste will be with me in the studio to talk tips and tricks between gameplay, while also getting help from you guys in chat to rank our tier list. We're gonna have a good time, and that's gonna be 5 to 11 p.m. Pacific. On Wednesday, it's Fight Night, where Cy will walk us through some PvP, and we'll find out if Chelsea Bites martial artist can get Action Jackson's last breath. On Thursday, it's Crown All-Stars, and we'll be jumping into a dungeon and boss battle with teams captained by Miss Golightly, Red Vector, and BYN. And last but not least, Friday is a special edition of WWFS with performances by B. Miller and Run the Jewels. I'll be there with Cy for this epic download party, you guys. Music, Lost Ark, friendship, the Crown Channel chat. What more could you ask for? So that's what you have to look forward to the rest of this week. It's ArkWeek, and we're gonna take a quick break right this very moment. But when we're back, it's to the library. And I hear Trisha has a very special guest, so stick around.
Wait, you're doing this live?
Saikuno, this is it. You've got it.
Say hi to the people, Carl.
Today we're playing solitaire. This is something crazy.
This is the place to be.
Chat is going absolutely well.
Bro, I'm hyped.
Let's go.
I don't know what else to tell you. Welcome back, everyone. We are now in the Hall of Heroes for part 2 of Lore. Now, the Hall of Heroes is where the stage is set to honor Arcasia's greatest champion, the renowned game developer of Lost Ark, the one and only Gold River. Now, we're very, very honored to be able to feature this exclusive one-on-one interview where we will get to hear valuable insights for new players and longtime fans alike. So chat, make sure to ask your questions. We'll be pulling them when we can. And I am so very honored right now to welcome to the stage the Lost Ark game director, Gold River. Hello and welcome. Good to see you. Please take a seat.
와, 이 의자가 엄청
This chair is amazing.
부담스러운데요? 예.
It is a throne for our champions, so thank you so much for being here today. Gold River, for those watching who might not know you, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
인사요. 네. Hello, users from all around the world. I am 금강선. Nice to meet you. Goldie River. Gold River. If my Korean name is hard to pronounce, just call me Gold River. It was my dream to launch LostArk globally, and my dream has come true. It is an honor to be here today. I will do my best to answer your many questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming all this distance. What brings you in person all the way from Korea?
자, 여기서부터는 한국어로 대답할게요. 발음이 별로 안 좋아요.
From now on, I will speak in Korean because my accent.
여기 일단 홍보하러만 온 거는 아니고요. 홍보하러만 온 건 아니고 제가 이제 그 개발자로서 로스트아크에 대해서 좀 여러 가지 얘기를 직접 해드리고 싶어서 LA까지 왔습니다.
I'm not just here to do press, but as a developer, I would like to show you how to fully enjoy the game here in LA.
네, 여기 오고 보니까 LA가 그거 알아요? LA가 로스트아크의 줄임말이에요. 그래가지고 와 굉장히 운명적이다 이런 생각 좀 해봤고요.
The interesting thing is, if you shorten Lost Ark, it's also LA, so I think that's a beautiful connection right there.
그래서 오늘 얘기하려던 건 이제 아마존 게임스하고 제가 이제 요청을 드린 거는 막 좋은 얘기, 포장하는 얘기 말고도 좀 불편했던 얘기라든가 아니면은 유저분들 좀 걱정하는 얘기들 이런 것들을 조금 질문에 좀 많이 넣어달라고 요청을 드렸었거든요.
And as I have requested with Amazon games as well, not just to talk about the flashy parts of the game, but also address any of the concerns that you all may have. So that's what I'm here for.
그래서 그런 이슈가 됐던 좋은 얘기들이나 좋은 질문이든 아니면 이슈가 됐던 질문이든 많이 유저분들이 좋아하는, 유저분들이 듣고 싶었던 얘기들을 좀 질문에 많이 넣었으면 하는 바람입니다.
So please, easy or difficult, ask your burning questions.
Well, we appreciate that transparency, so thank you so much for offering that to the community. I know we have a lot of questions. Everyone is so excited to play Lost Ark this week, and there were a lot of people who were very excited to play Lost Ark in 2021. Could you give us some insights behind the delay that delayed us here to 2022?
네. 우선 원래 2021년도에 찾아뵙기로 했는데 연기가 돼가지고 우선 너무 오래 기다리게 해드려서 죄송하다는 말씀부터 드리고 싶습니다.
Of course, I'd first like to address, we were supposed to meet in 2021, but because of the delay, I would like to take this opportunity to apologize to everyone for the delay.
근데 이제 그 커뮤니티를 보니까 그 뉴월드 때문에 연기가 됐다 막 이런 얘기들 좀 많더라고요.
It seems like there's been a debate in the community saying that it may be because of the new world.
It's not because of New World.
Okay, it's not because of New World. Could you give us a little insight as to what was going on behind the scenes?
원래 이제 그 군단장 레이드라고 한국에서 이제 먼저 론칭을 해가지고 굉장히 호응도 괜찮고 또 군단장 레이드가 나오고 나면 잔존율이 굉장히 좋아져요. 그래서 이런 부분들을 AGS 아마존 게임스에 저희가 요청을 드렸었고요.
Well, of course, in the original Korean launch, Legion raids had yielded great responses. So I particularly made a request to Amazon Game as well for that Legion raid to be included.
그래서 이제 저희는 3티어, 그러니까 군단장 레이드가 가는 데까지의 어떤 과정을 좀 다듬고 그리고 그 아마존 게임스에서는 로컬라이징을 또 해야 되잖아요. 그 많은 걸 하려면 로컬라이징 하는데 시간이 굉장히 오래 걸리기 때문에 그 시간을 쓰기 위해서 이제 연기를 한 거예요.
So because of the tier 3 that will be included with the Legion raid and taking a bit of time with the localization of the content, it yielded some more time than expected.
그런데 이 아마존 게임스가 이거를 그렇게 공지를 안 하더라고요.
But it seems like when Amazon Games made that announcement, they didn't include any of these details in their announcement. So
그래서 좀 답답해가지고 제가 왜냐면 아니 로컬라이징 하는데 막 시간도 많이 쓰고 굉장히 좀 열심히 하셨거든요. 그래놓고선 공지를 안 해가지고 막 욕을 먹더라고요. 그래서 아니 이거 왜 공지를 좀 제대로 전달을 했으면 좋았을 텐데 하는 좀 그런 아쉬움이 있었어요.
And because of that, it seemed like Amazon Games did all the work to make this happen, but yet didn't, reveal any of these details behind the delay. So it got me a little frustrated.
그래서 어쨌든 여기서 이제 뭐 들려주고 싶은 얘기는 군단장 레이드라는 아주 중요한 이 로스트아크에서는 굉장히 중요한 그런 컨텐츠를 여러분들한테 빨리 공급해드릴 수 있다라는 어떤 즐거운 소식을 전해드립니다.
But all in all, I'm happy to announce that we are including Legion Raid in our Tier 3 for every user to enjoy. So we're very excited about that.
That's amazing. And thank you so much for your insight kind of behind all of this and what was going on. Do you at this time have plans for future updates and rollouts that you can share?
우선 클래스는 총 15개를 가지고 런칭을 합니다. 그런데 저희가 이제 준비되어 있는 클래스들을 빠르면 2달, 늦어도 3달, 굉장히 빠른 템포로 계속 업데이트를 해드릴 거예요.
For this launch, we have 15 classes coming. And every 2 to 3 month intervals, we're going to introduce a new class as well.
네, 그리고 또 이제 뭐 군단장 레이드 이 부분도 굉장히 또 로컬라이징도 다 끝나 있고 준비가 다 됐기 때문에 뭐 오픈 베타를 하고 한 달 있다가는 아르고스라는 뭐 어비스 레이드를 낼 거고 또 그 한 달 있다가는 발탄 첫 번째 군단장 레이드는 발탄을 업데이트를 할 거거든요.
And with the inclusion of Legion raids, we've already been finished with localizing the content, and simultaneously we also have the Argos raid a month later releasing, as well as the Vaulton raid releasing, and more.
아마 굉장히 많은 업데이트들이 준비가 되고 있는데 근데 꼭 이게 그 한국에서 서비스했던 경험을 좀 생각을 해보면 꼭 이게 빠르게 엔드 콘텐츠를 막 많이 공급하는 게 꼭 좋은 건 아니거든요.
So we have a ton of updates for you all, but in our opinion, given our experiences with our original launch, perhaps pouring out all of the updates at once may not be the best option.
그래서 준비는 저희가 잘 되어 있으니까 유저분들의 어떤 성장 속도라든가 이런 부분들을 저희가 잘 파악을 해서 아주 적당한 타이밍에 절대 부족함이 없는 업데이트를 선보이도록 하겠습니다.
So with our speedy updates all available, ready to go, we're still going to take time to monitor the progression levels of our users, of our global users, and release according to that level of speed level.
You might even say, stop the updates. Be prepared.
I love all the content we can expect here. And Gold River, I probably should have asked you this first, but do you have anything to say to the new players out there who might be diving into Lost Ark for the first time this week?
처음 로아를 하시는 분들은 우선은 계속 수직적인 거를 좋아하시는 분들이라면 반드시 이 게임의 백미라고 할 수 있는 군단장 레이드는 꼭 도전해봤으면 하고요.
For those who prefer vertical contents, then I would for sure recommend diving into Legion raids.
그리고 이제 좀 느긋하게 천천히 게임을 즐기시는 걸 좋아하시는 분들은 이것저것 다 해보셨으면 좋겠어요. 저희가 수평 콘텐츠들이 굉장히 많거든요. 이런 것들을 차근차근 다 하나씩 즐겨보시길 바랍니다. 사이드 퀘스트라든가 섬이라든가 아니면 여러 가지 컬렉팅이라든가 이런 것들 전부 다요.
And for those who like to take their time exploring the game and enjoy some of the horizontal contents, then we recommend just diving into not only just side stories to item collection, and there's so many things available that you can enjoy.
That's wonderful. I want to ask you, I've heard about Loa on and its popularity in Korea. Are there plans to do anything like that here or globally?
로아온도 알고 계세요?
You know about Lon?
I have done my research and I hear it is very popular.
로아온 행사를 글로벌하게 하는 건 당연히 꿈이죠.
Of course, it is my dream to have a global event like Rollouts.
그런데 이제 어떤 북미 웨스턴 시장에서의 어떤 그 버전과 한국의 버전이 좀 현재는 좀 차이가 좀 나요.
But as we're monitoring just the different variations from versions of all different territories, there are a bit of a gap.
그래서 그런 차이가 나는 상황에서 이제 뭐 로아온을 하면은 웨스턴 유저들은 다 한국에서 이미 공개된 것들을 받으셔야 될 수 있기 때문에 어느 정도 전 세계 글로벌 버전이 좀 맞춰지면은 뭐 행사가 뭐 로아온도 될 수 있고 뭐 아니면 대회가 될 수 있고 이런 것들을 많이 열어보고 싶긴 합니다.
So since our Korean users have already seen some of these versions that our Western users will now see, once that meeting point is achieved, then perhaps we can have a global event.
That sounds really exciting. And I want to ask Gold River, I know that you yourself are a bit of a hot topic in the Lost Ark community. Yes, you. And you are popular within that community, so much so that players even bought ad space for you. And I believe we have that here to take a look at. This is a thing that happened, yes?
야, 이걸 또 네, 이것도 조사해갖고 갖고 오셨군요.
I can't believe this got here.
근데 사실은 되게 자랑하고 싶었던 건데 감사합니다.
To be honest, this was my bragging point, so thanks for bringing it up.
네, 이게 유저분들이 저희한테 뭐 응원의 메시지를 이제 지하철 광고를 해주셨는데 여기 이제 물 건너와가지고 저걸 여기서 또 보니까 뭔가 저희 한국 유저분들이 이렇게 힘내라고 응원해 주는 것 같네요.
Our Korean users had created this ad space for me, so it seems like, you know, we have their support all the way here in LA. So I'm grateful for it.
It's very true. And that relationship between a game developer and the community that you have in particular is so special. What do you think is the secret to having that kind of relationship with your community?
유저분들하고 좋은 관계.
네.
글쎄요, 이제 저희가 한국에서 사실 계속 로스트아크가 좋은 시절만 있던 건 아니에요.
To be honest, it hasn't always been up over the past years since Lost Ark launched.
약간 뭐랄까 전우회랄까?
Like let's say camaraderie.
저희가 이게 사실 친구가요. 안 좋을 때 친구가 진짜 친구잖아요.
Like if you think about friends, when you go through the low moments together, that really brings us together, right?
근데 진짜 되게 어려웠던 시절에도 막 유저분들이 조언도 굉장히 많이 해주셨고 저희도 그 피드백을 받아서 계속 이제 좋은 게임이 되도록 고쳐 나갔어요. 그래서 그런 과정을 거쳤고 그 과정에서 서로 약간 어떤 끈끈한 그런 유대감이 생기지 않았나 그렇게 저는 생각하고 있어요.
And even through our downs, you know, our users steadily have been providing not only just criticism but encouragement as well as feedback that really helped us get here to this point.
근데 뭐 이런 어떤 특별한 관계는 꼭 이제 한국 유저분들하고도 굉장히 좀 오랜 시간에 걸쳐가지고 이런 관계가 형성이 된 거거든요.
And this camaraderie over the years have been built, you know, through that, through all the togetherness of it all.
여러분들 여기 이제 웨스턴 유저분들하고도 많이 소통을 하면서 좋은 관계를 가져나가고 싶고요.
And my hopes is that I aim to have that same relationship with our global users.
나중에는 이제 뭐 한국 유저들 아니면 또 웨스턴 유저들 모두 전 세계에 있는 뭐 유저분들이 로스트아크라는 어떤 공통 관심사를 가지고 서로 또 친해지면 좋을 것 같아요.
And it would be amazing for all of our users, not just our Korean users, but our international users as well, to just build that camaraderie in that common theme of Lost Ark, their love, our love for it.
조금 뭐 딴소리긴 한데 오다 보니까 여기 슈퍼볼 시즌이더라고요.
It seems quite random to say, but I saw that it's the Super Bowl season.
하필이면은 LA 램스 올라갔더라고요. 저는
Yeah, I saw that LA Rams went up.
전 톰 브레이디 팬인데.
Oh, I'm a Tom Brady fan.
네. 근데 뭐 그런 거죠. 뭐 슈퍼볼처럼 어떤 같은 취미를 가지고 있으면 막 되게 축제 분위기가 나잖아요. 여기도 보니까 LA 마치 축제 분위기더라고요. 근데 로스트아크로 모든 전 세계 유저분들이 그렇게 좀 축제 분위기도 내고 친해질 수 있는 시간이 올 수 있기를 희망해 봅니다.
And just like if you look at Super Bowl fans, everyone is connected with that common theme of just the love of the sport. And so just with that, we hope to have that same kind of energy for our Lost Ark fans and global users.
I love that. I love how much you listen to your player base, and it seems like you listen to the Korean community quite a bit. And I know you were talking about that you'd love to listen to the Western territories in the same way. Is there any feedback you've heard from the Western territories that you'd like to address?
많이 보고 있어요. 뭐 레딧이라든가 뭐 유튜브, 또 공식 포럼 이런 것들을 보고 있는데 최근에 한번 그 포럼 레딧이었던 것 같아요. 뭐 거기서 T3가 먼저 나와야 된다. 혹은 뭐 T1, T2가 차근차근 나와야 된다. 뭐 이거 가지고 한참 설전이 벌어지더라고요.
Yes, I've been keeping up to date with the Reddit threads, YouTube, you name it. But I've seen on a Reddit thread that there was an ongoing debate on like whether T1 and 2 should come out or T3 should come out first. It's pretty heated.
네, 제가 먼저 개발자로서 이제 답을 드리면 저희는 T3를 포함해서 나오게 됩니다.
And if I were to give you an answer as developer of Lost Ark, I would say we're including all the tiers for our launch.
이게 이제 그렇다고 해서 T1, T2 구간을 뭐 이 T1, T2 구간이 한국에서는 2년 가까이 진행되던 구간이거든요.
And not to say that, you know, if you look at our original launch in Korea, it almost took 2 years for tiers 1 and 2 to come out.
근데 뭐 그렇게 길게 즐기는 게 아니라 T1, T2 구간은 이제 저희가 유저분들이 어떤 로스트아크에 대한 메커니즘을 이해를 하고 또 로스트아크를 이해해 나가는데 필요한 딱 그 시간만 딱 줄 거여서 시간은 많이 압축을 할 거예요.
And we're not going to leave that much time period for users to experience tiers 1 and 2. Rather, we're going to use it and with that condensed time so that our users can be able to get acquainted with the game and sort of, you know, enjoy it and then be able to
T1, T2 구간에서 T1, T2 구간에서 이제 게임을 좀 로스트아크를 배워 나가시고 이제 T3로 가면 본격적인 모험을 하실 수 있고 본격적인 파밍 시스템들을 이제 더 즐기실 수 있을 거고 네, 그렇게 진행을 하신다면 훨씬 좋은 게임 흐름을 가질 수 있을 거라고 생각해요.
So through tier 1 and 2, you get the gist of the game, you get acquainted with it, and the real meat of everything is in tier 3. So once you go with that flow, it'll just enhance the experience, in my opinion.
Very exciting, and thank you for clearing that up. Is there anything else you've seen discussed in the forums that you'd like to address at this point, maybe concerning DirectX 11, any of those conversations?
네, 뭐 최근에는 막 그 많더라고요. 아직 게임이 출시도 안 됐는데 레딧에서 막 그 T3까지 성장하는 방법, 이 플로우 차트를 만들어 가지고 막 이렇게 올리는 것도 봤고요.
It seems like there's a lot of conversations happening. I even saw a tier 3 growth chart that someone made. I was quite impressed with it.
벌써부터 막 그리고 다이렉트X가 한참 이거 적용 안 되냐 막 한번 이제 얘기가 많았는데 저희가 이제 공식 채널에서 적용한다고 또 얘기 드렸었죠.
And there was a debate on DirectX, like when is it coming? And I've already resolved that and mentioned it in a prior engagement.
그리고 뭐 제가 한 분 언급해드릴 유튜버가 하나 있네요.
Oh, I'd like to make mention of this one YouTuber.
그 싸이오라고 그 2년 3년 전부터 저희 게임을 굉장히 이렇게 막 많이 홍보해 주시고 저희 게임에 대해서 좋은 얘기를 정말 많이 해주셨거든요. 그래서 그분한테 굉장히 감사드리는데 이제 그분이 그렇게 홍보를 했던 거에 누가 되지 않도록 저희가 좋은 게임을 계속 만들어야겠죠.
His name is Saiwo, and over the 2-3 years, he's been just consistently being able to provide like such great responses for Lost Ark. So even for his sake, we want to continue living up to that hype and deliver what we created.
어려운 시간에 항상 저희에게 좋은 계속 노력을 해주신 분들은 저희가 절대 잊을 수가 없고요.
Of course, we cannot forget the ones who provided consistent feedback, especially during our low moments.
네, 여러분들도 저희한테 이제 많은 좋은 뭐 조언이나 의견들을 주면 저희가 잘 듣고 최대한 좋은 게임 같이 만들 수 있도록 노력할게요.
And to everyone here in this space, our ears are open for any feedback, so it is all welcome because it's only going to help us improve.
I absolutely love that camaraderie, as you said, and feedback circle. That's a beautiful thing. Lost Ark has now been in Korea, Russia, and Japan, now, of course, opening to more territories. What are some of the interesting things you noticed watching Western region players? Have there been any differences?
differences. 그 우선은 뭐 물론 이제 문화권이 뭐 다르다 보니까 좀 차이가 있죠. 그래서 퍼블리셔들은 항상 그 문화권에 맞는 어떤 몇몇 개의 수정사항을 요청하시긴 해요.
Well, of course, there's existing variations among all territories, right? And publishers do, take that into account and make those variations.
네. 근데 저는 그렇게 생각합니다. 사실 제가 이제 본 바로도 전 세계의 게임 유저분들이 막 그렇게 다르지 않아요.
But in my opinion, at the end of the day, it's not at all different across all gamers, no matter where you're from.
맞아요. 그래서 저희가 봤을 때는 크게 다르지 않은데 결국 원하는 거는 게임에서 원하는 건 재미잖아요.
At the end of the day, we're all looking for one thing, right? Or the most main thing, to have fun.
네, 그래서 저는 결국에는 그 재미를 잘 만들면 되는 거고, 뭐 예를 들어 한국에서 만든 게임이잖아요. 한국에서 만든 게임은 한국의 정서, 로스트아크가 가지고 있는 정서 그대로를 즐기는 게 제일 좋은 게 아닌가라고 생각해요.
And with the focal point just being able to enjoy the game, we want to maintain the core, the original launch, and be able to deliver that without so much variation.
저희가 이제 점점 게임이 글로벌화되면서 굉장히 사랑스러운 이유가 전 세계의 많은 재능들이 각 국가에서의 어떤 나름대로의 정서를 가지고 재미나고 독특한 게임들을 많이 만들어내기 때문이거든요.
And as we're globalizing, even just in Lost Ark, there's so many different skill sets and areas that are coming together.
그래서 저희는 저희가 만든 게임 그대로를 좀 전달을 하고 싶고, 그래서 다행히 또 이제 아마존 게임스 쪽이랑 최근에 이런 토론들을 굉장히 많이 했는데 최대한 저희 원작에 가까운 뭐 어떤 가깝게 이렇게 좀 하겠다라는 협의를 좀 해주셨어요.
And we've been closely talking with Amazon Games and voice these opinions on wanting to maintain the core of the game. And luckily, we've gotten their support, and so we're going to maintain that. And so we're happy about that.
넷플릭스에서 이제 그 오징어 게임이라고 전 세계 히트한 한국 드라마가 있거든요.
And I've even heard that Squid Game has been so popular on Netflix.
It has.
그 보니까 의외로 또 그 해외 유저분들이 한국어 원어음으로 이제 그 보시는 분들도 굉장히 많더라고요.
And it seems like a lot of the viewers who are watching the show, they preferred the Korean language, the original language that it was in.
그렇지 않아도 저희도 작년 11월인가에 레딧에서 그 한국어 원음도 좀 들을 수 있게 해달라고 요청이 와가지고 저희가 이번 오픈 베타에 그런 이제 음성 선택 기능을 좀 포함을 시켰습니다.
So even for us, I think it was about last November, I saw it on a Reddit thread that someone or people wanted Korean voiceover option to be available. So we have that included as well as in other languages for this launch.
저희 정서 그대로를 최대한 드릴 테니까 뭐 재미있게 한번 받아주세요.
We're going to maintain the core of the game, so please receive it well, and we're looking forward to your responses.
That's wonderful, and thank you for that very detailed answer. I know a lot of people are really looking for this type of insight, so thank you so much for that. I know you said you're here for the more tricky or maybe more sensitive questions as well. So I want to ask, what can you say to new players who might think that Lost Ark is pay to win?
Pay to win. 우선 이거 제가 불편한 것도 다 받겠다고 했더니 이거 진짜 넣어주셨네요.
This is quite a tough question, and of course I requested it to Amazon, asked me difficult question, and they really put it. So here we go.
네, 뭐 우선 로스트아크는 프리 투 플레이 게임이에요.
Lost Ark is a completely free-to-play game.
이게 이 프리 투 플레이 게임에 이제 안 좋게 보시는 부분들이 뭐냐면 무료로 게임을 즐기게 하고 그 무료로 게임을 즐긴 이후에 갑자기 과금의 벽, 과금을 하지 않으면 컨텐츠를 즐길 수 없게 만드는 부분들이죠, 바로.
In ordinary free-to-play, there's a structure that you come in without purchase to play the game. Then the obstacles come up for players and push them to spend dollars in order to advance or progress, right?
로스트아크도 물론 이제 과금이 필요한 부분들이 물론 있습니다. 그런데 게임을 조금 천천히 즐기시고 여러 가지 게임이 단순히 그냥 컨텐츠를 과금을 안 해가지고 딱 막아버리는 그런 식의 디자인은 없거든요.
Even in Lost Ark, yeah, there may be moments where, it may be required or it may be useful to advance, but we don't provide or design obstacles so that you cannot go further if you don't spend dollars.
제가 트레일러에서 보여드렸던 섬을 모험한다거나 아니면 콜렉팅을 한다거나 아니면 스토리를 본다거나 이런 모든 것들에 어떤 과금의 어떤 제약을 두고 있지는 않아요.
Whether you're exploring grounds, collecting items, or doing, exploring the terrains, it doesn't require items to be purchased.
물론 근데 약간 수직적인 성장을 빨리 해야 될 경우에는 과금의 부담이 좀 심해지는 부분들이 있긴 합니다.
Well, for those who prefer that vertical content and just want to quickly advance in the game, then yes, funds would be useful in that sense.
그 비율 자체는 저희가 굉장히 잘 제어를 하면서 조절을 하고 있긴 해요.
Of course, we have that ratio, just monitoring very closely and just observing it through.
그냥 이 게임을 조금 더 재밌게 즐길 수 있는 팁을 좀 드려볼까요?
And if I may, I would love to share an expert tip on how to best enjoy the game.
Please.
이쪽인가요? Don't go too fast. Just take your time. 네.
Perfect. So take your time when you jump in. I will definitely follow that advice myself. I don't like to rush to the end game. I'll explore all of it. So thank you so much for that. Also, Gold River, thank you so much for just earlier today, your trailer dropped with your commentary over it, and that was really cool. What is the story behind that trailer?
Have you seen it?
I did. I saw it this morning. Yeah.
How was it?
It was great. I loved it. It's so much information.
Thank you. 트레일러는 물론 이제 최근에 저희가 되게 이제 감동하고 있는 아마존 게임스에서 무기를 제작하거나 아니면 성우분들 코멘터리 하거나 되게 다양한 영상들을 많이 제작을 해주시더라고요.
Of course, the trailers made by Amazon Game, there's so many variations. Just the trailers are great.
굉장히 감사하고 있고.
And I'm really thankful for it as well.
근데 또 이제 개발자 입장에서 이제 이 게임의 매력이 뭐고 저희가 이제 만든 사람들이니까 개발자 입장에서 이 게임의 매력이 뭐고 어떻게 즐겼으면 하고 또 어떤 마인드로 이 게임을 만들었나를 좀 담아보고 싶었어요.
But as a developer standpoint, we want to sort of take a different angle and show the beauty of the game, why we created it, and all the inside knowledge of it.
음악도 좀 자랑하고 싶었고.
And I kind of want to brag about the music too.
그래서 그런 의도로 이제 트레일러를 만들었는데 이 트레일러라는 거는 사실 만들 때 게임에서 가장 재밌어 보이고 매력적인 것만 이렇게 뭉쳐놔요.
And if you look at trailers, it sort of, has that over-exaggerated ad elements to it, to be honest.
그렇기 때문에 약간 어떻게 보면 과대 광고가 될 수도 있고요.
And in a way that it makes it exaggerated if you only include the good parts, the beautiful parts of it.
그렇지만 이제 약간 과대 광고성이 있을 수도 있는데 저희가 매력을 좀 들려드리고자 한 거고 또 저희가 어떤 마인드로 이 게임을 만들었는지를 충분히 알려드릴 수 있을 것 같아서 그래서 트레일러를 만들었습니다.
So with our version of the trailer launch today, we just wanted to show more of, the insider's look and the vision of the developer.
Well, like I said, it was really cool. So thank you for sharing your vision with us in that format. That was really, really neat. I want to ask you, I know PvP is very popular in Western gaming in general. And can you describe the PvP element that is in Lost Ark?
우선 이 로스트아크라는 게임은 PvP가 중심축에 있는 게임은 아니에요.
Of course, I would say PvP is not, or Lost Ark is not built with the focal point on PvP.
그렇기 때문에 이제 저희 게임은 모험을 하건 스토리텔링을 하건 아니면 또 이제 같이 협력을 해가지고 레이드를 즐기든 이런 부분들이 약간 중심인 게임이라고 할 수 있어요, 사실.
Whether you're into storyline or collaborating through raids or just enjoying side quests, that's really what our game is about.
그렇지만 이제 PVP를 좋아하시는 분들도 물론 많기 때문에 저희가 콜로세움이라든가 아니면 섬에서 즐길 수 있는 여러 가지 PVP 타입 그리고 더 나아가서는 올해부터는 저희가 또 한국에서도 좀 PVP를 더 늘려보려고 해요. 그래서 전장이라든가 이런 것들을 시행착오를 걸치면서 좀 확장해 나가고 있어요.
But with the growing popularity in PvP, we're doing our best to fully gear up and improving those elements, whether it's improving ground or other aspects, including the island.
여러분들의 반응을 보면서 계속해서 PVP도 발전시켜 나가 보겠습니다.
We're going to continue monitoring everyone's responses with PvP and continue improving upon the elements.
Excellent. So for PvP fans, there you have a little insight into that portion of Lost Ark. I want to ask Gold River, do you have a favorite character in Lost Ark?
Character? Without a doubt, Kadan. Kaden? Kaden.
Without a doubt, Caden. Can you describe Caden to our audiences?
No spoiler.
Oh, okay, it'd be a spoiler. Okay, no spoilers, but
You will meet him here. You will meet him in the game.
okay, perfect. And when you meet him, you will know. There we have it. As a game developer and a game development company, what is your global goal?
global goal? 저는 글쎄요. 저는 목표를 이미 이뤘다고 생각해요.
I think we've already achieved what we set out to achieve.
왜 그러냐면 사실 MMORPG라는 장르가 굉장히 비용도 많이 들고 시간도 많이 들고 또 잘 엎어져요. 엎어진다는 게 이제 완성이 되지 않고 오픈 베타도 하지 못하고 그냥 드랍되는 경우들이 굉장히 많거든요.
And if you look at the genre of an MMO, it not only requires a lot of time, but a ton of content as well as costs. And a lot of the other MMOs don't even make it to the beta stage or even launch.
굉장히 이제 만들기 어려운 장르인데 이제 저희가 어쨌든 한국에서도 많은 분들에게 사랑을 받고 또 벌써 이제 웨스턴이 나가면 140개가 넘는 국가에서 서비스가 되는 건데 이것만으로도 너무 행복해요. 정말 140개가 개국이 넘는 곳에서 유저 여러분들을 찾아뵙고 한다는 것 자체가 그걸로 이미 목표는 저는 달성했다고 생각합니다.
And these MMOs are very hard to make, as you know, but given that we're able to service over 140 countries, I think we've already reached an accomplishment.
Most definitely a huge accomplishment. If you had to put a number on it, though, do you have a number in mind of users you would like to see for Lost Ark?
집요하시네요.
Wow, you're quite persistent, but since you asked, I will answer.
넘버. 예. 20만 하겠습니다. 20만.
I will put it at 200K concurrent users.
사실 그 예전에 그 배틀그라운드라는 한국 게임이 있어요. 그 게임이 스팀에서 굉장히 놀라운 성과를 이제 거둔 적이 있고.
Well, in the past, there is a Korean game named Battleground FPS, and that yielded great results.
한국인으로서 굉장히 좀 자랑스러웠어요.
And as a Korean, I'm very proud of their accomplishment.
그래서 저희도 어떻게 보면 RPG가 웨스턴 시장에 나와서 20만이라는 동접을 넘기는 게 굉장히 벽같이 느껴지는데 그 20만이라는 숫자를 그냥 한국 게임으로서 한국 게임도 이런 포텐셜이 있다라는 걸 좀 보여드리고 싶다는 의미에서 20만으로 이제 얘기를 드려본 겁니다.
And in a way, it seems like there's a wall, like with that 200K. It's hard to surpass that number. And so we wanted to set it at that and be able to surpass it, hopefully.
We can do that, right?
I think we can. And for chat asking questions about only 200,000 concurrent users, just to clear that up. But everyone in chat is saying 500,000 easy, I see right now. Easy. And so everyone is very excited for Lost Ark to succeed. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you for the support.
Yeah, so much support. Nothing but support in chat right now. Do you have any particular philosophy on building an MMORPG, and what do you think the future of Lost Ark with that philosophy in mind could look like?
철학이라면 저희 철학은 사실 뭐 컨텐츠적인 부분들로 얘기할 수는 없을 것 같고요.
Well, if I think about philosophy rather than focusing on the contents,
이런 것 같아요. MMORPG는 유저분들이 시간을 굉장히 많이 써야 되는 장르라고 생각해요.
well, I think it's this. With MMOs, it requires so much time commitment from everyone.
이게 뭐 물리적으로나 뭐 감정적으로나 굉장히 소모가 큰 장르거든요.
Whether it's financially or emotionally, there's a lot of investment going on, right?
그래서 함부로 막 그 많은 분들의 그 소중한 시간을 함부로 저희가 다루기가 어려워요.
So we don't want to be wasteful of anyone's investment, great investment and effort taken into being a part of this. So.
그래서 저희는 유저분들의 뭐 저희가 얼마나 좋은 게임인지는 사실 잘 모르겠어요. 근데 유저분들의 시간만큼은 반드시 소중하게 생각하고 또 유저분들의 좋은 추억이 있는 이 장소를 저희가 잘 보관자의 역할을 잘 해내는 것. 그게 저희 철학 같아요.
Well, we don't know if it'll be a great game or not for everyone, but with the time invested and the effort that we put into just exploring this, we aim to have Arcasia in just fostering great memories and growing together with our users.
That's a beautiful sentiment. If you had to describe Lost Ark in one sentence, maybe for new players out there, how would you describe it?
One sentence. 10년, 20년이 지나서도 뭐 로스트아크를 했던 시절을 유저분들이 돌아봤을 때 그렇게 나쁘지 않았다라고 할 수 있는 정도의 게임이 됐으면 좋겠네요.
In 10, 20 years, looking back in Lost Ark and makes you smile. I think that's it.
That's it. That's beautiful. If you can look back and it makes you smile. Gold River, thank you so much. This conversation has been so wonderful, and chat is so hyped right now. We're having such a good time. Do you think you have a couple more minutes to answer questions from the chat?
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. All right, perfect. So let's see if we have any chat questions that we can bring in for Gold River right now. Let's see if we have those ready to come in. And chat, thank you so much, as always, for asking your questions. Thank you so much for asking them, and we're going to get to as many of them as we can. Thank you so very much. This is perfect. And let's see. And of course, if you can't answer any of these questions, feel free to say so.
네네.
At Unwise Foxy asked, what is your favorite class?
노 코멘트 하겠습니다.
I'm not going to comment on this.
저는 제가 만든 모든 클래스를 다 사랑해요.
I love equally every class that I created, truly.
The Beard wants to know if there is a particular class that you play, or do you play all of them, Gold River?
어떤 클래스를 주로 하세요?
이것도 노 코멘트. 근데 저는 이제 아무래도 여러 개 클래스를 좀 키워봐야겠죠. 여러 개의 클래스를 키워봐야 돼서 이제 돌아가면서 합니다. 지금은 약간 좀 수정이 많이 필요하다고 생각하는 클래스들을 위주로 좀 다시 해보고 있어요. 그래서 그때그때 하는 뭐 클래스가 좀 달라요.
Of course, as I'm developing just different classes, I focus on, what needs most revision. And so I've sort of been going around in that.
Excellent. So a little bit of everything. This was asked by multiple people in chat, but when will we get the female berserker?
female berserker. 일단 한국에서는 빠르면 올해 이제 말이나 좀 늦으면 이제 내년 상반기를 생각을 하고 있기 때문에 뭐 간격 텀을 좀 봐야 될 것 같긴 합니다. 뭐 여기서 굉장히 인기가 많은가 보네요.
Wow, she must be popular, huh? Of course, we have to monitor, and perhaps at the end of the year or early next year.
Okay, perfect. And at SWEBear026 asks, Squid Game mode confirmed?
이 게임은요, 섬이라는 컨텐츠가 있어요. 뭐든지 가능성이 있습니다.
In this game, there is an island, and in that island, anything is possible.
Aha! Now everyone's gonna have to go hunting for this very specific island. I love it so much. Other people in chat wanted to know if there was a way to play PvP with friends.
PvP랑 같이 친구들과 같이 PvP를 할 수 있어요.
제가요? PvP
친구들과 PvP가 가능한지.
친구들과 PvP를 친구들과 PvP 할 수 있나요? 제가 하나요?
Do you mean Gold River himself with the friends?
I think for people maybe that want to match up with their friends and go PvP with their friends.
오케이. 친구들과 같이 현재는 좀 이제 그런 부분들은 좀 개선을 해나가야 될 상황인 것 같고요.
Currently, we're making improvements on that so that the
파티로
option
지금
is
파티로
available.
하는 거에 대해서 말씀을 하시는 것 같아요. 파티를 할 수 없냐.
It seems like you're asking about the parties, whether it can happen or not.
고민해 보겠습니다.
So we'll take that into consideration.
Thank you so much. At Vern Ether asked, why change class names that were already in English?
선생님은 왜 변경하셨죠?
그거는 이제 뭐 그 퍼블리셔와의 어떤 협의를 하면서 이제 서로 이제 협의를 했던 내용이고요. 저도 사실은 이제 지금 여기서 와서도 뭐 브레이시아자 뭐 이렇게 그 다 외워야 돼요 이거를.
And of course, you know, we had that conversation with our publishers, and it seems like that was the direction we're heading in. So even for me, I'm trying to memorize the names that's in Korean with English. So.
뭐 여러 가지 이제 뭐 사유에 의해서 이제 변경을 하게 되었는데 저도 좀 원작 그대로 나왔으면 좋겠어요.
Of course, there were circumstances that led to this decision, but I personally also have wished that it stayed as is.
잘 협의해 보겠습니다.
But we will, of course, have that in check and see what we can do.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, chat, for asking your questions. Again, thank you so much, Gold River. Do you have any last words that you'd like to leave with our global audience?
우선 MMORPG라는 게 되게 그런 것 같아요. 발전을 많이 해야 되는 장르라고 생각을 하거든요.
I believe that the genre of the MMO is something that needs improvement constantly.
제가 이제 뭐 트레일러에서도 잠깐 언급을 해드렸지만 이제 제가 뭐 월드 오브 워크래프트 같은 게임이라든가 아니면 디아블로 같은 게임이라든가 굉장히 제가 리스펙하는 게임들이에요.
Of course, as I've appealed in the trailer and mentioned it, some of things that I look up to as well, Diablo and World of Warcraft, I have great respect for. And so.
그런 뭐 선구자적인 게임들이 없었다면 로스트아크를 만들 생각 자체를 못했겠죠.
And I wouldn't even have thought of creating Lost Ark had it not been for these title MMOs. So.
그런 어떤 뭐 위대한 작품들에 비해서는 저희가 아직은 좀 걸음마 단계이긴 하지만 저희가 이제 중요하게 생각하는 건 어제보다는 오늘이 더 나은 게임, 오늘보다는 내일이 더 나은 게임을 만드는 거예요.
And compared to these title MMOs, we're just taking our first steps, but we want to continue just day by day improving alongside our users.
이제 여러분들의 많은 또 도움을 받고 여러분들과 잘 소통을 해가지고 매일 더 좋아지는 그런 게임을 만들어 나가보고 그리고 5년, 뭐 10년 이렇게 더 지나면 그 위대한 게임들에 조금이라도 좀 다가갈 수 있는 그런 게임이 될 수 있으면 너무 좋을 것 같습니다.
And with everyone's encouragement as well as feedback, we hope to continue improving on, and perhaps even in 5 to 10 years, perhaps we could go head to head with these title MMOs. So we're looking forward to that.
네, I'll be waiting for you in Arcasia. Thank you for your time. Let's play.
Let's play. Let's do it. All right. I've been told that we actually might have time for 1 or 2 more questions from chat if we have those. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. At Pedro, MMORPG asked, how often is new content added to the game? And I mean brand new, not adding to North Korea or from North America, to North America from Korea.
아예 새로운 콘텐츠라면 한국에서도 없는 그런 콘텐츠요. 우선 근데 한국이 본진이에요.
Well, yes, the Korean launch is the original, so there will be.
어떤 요청이 있으면은 이제 뭐 문화적으로 뭐 콜라보레이션을 뭐 한다든가 아니면 다른 어떤 섬 이런 것들을 뭐 웨스턴 전용으로 만든다든가 하는 고민은 물론 할 수 있는데 우선 한국에서 콘텐츠가 잘 빌드업이 되어야 웨스턴으로 가는 것들도 당연히 같이 좋아집니다. 그래서 우선은 한국 콘텐츠를 먼저 따라잡는 데 저희는 집중을 할 거고요.
Of course, we can continue making these different cultural variations so that we can meet, have a common ground across all territories. But our focus and priority is in just, making sure that all of our users across all territories be able to enjoy, even everything that's already released in our original launch in Korea.
조금 더 시간을 보내면서 여러 가지 좀 다양한 의견을 들어보고 다양한 고민들을 해보도록 하겠습니다.
So with taking our time into consideration of everyone's responses, we'll definitely continue building on it.
Perfect. And I know a little earlier in the stream you were able to kind of give us some insight into the future launch and release schedule. So thank you so much for that. Took You Life asked, is there any point in the future that all regions will receive new content at the same time?
그러기를 바라죠. 네. 언젠가는 다 그 지역에서 같이 돌아갈 수 있는 게 가장 좋고 그러면 이제 아까 말씀드렸던 것처럼 로아온도 같이 즐길 수 있을 거고요. 빨리 저희가 이제 원빌드가 될 때까지 열심히 노력을 해볼게요.
Of course, that's the dream. And with that meeting point where all territories are met, you know, that common ground, then we can even have like law-on events, as mentioned. And so that is something that we're aiming for, too.
엄청 열심히 일해야 될 것 같네요.
We're definitely going to need to go full gear and working.
Well, thank you again so very much, Gold River. This has been so wonderfully insightful, I think, for everyone who's been tuning in, whether they're new Lost Ark fans or fans that have been around for years. So there you have it, fans of Lost Ark from around the world. We would, of course, like to thank our special guest, Gold River. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and participating in this fantastic interview. The goal of Lore is really to create a unique environment within the Lorebrary where our philosophers can geek out and discuss the beauty of Lost Ark with both new fans and experienced players. And of course, as mentioned earlier in the show, ArkWeek will feature a variety of content here on the Crown channel celebrating the release of Lost Ark in North America. Now, don't forget, everyone, I'm sure you have not forgotten, but don't forget about the giveaways. There's giveaway opportunities going live all this week with chances to win Founders Packs ranging from bronze to platinum, allowing players to play early, but also giving away exclusive rewards. And we really appreciate you tuning in. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
This is it, you've got it.
Say hi to the people, Carl.
Today we're playing solitaire. This is something crazy.
This is the place to be.
Chat is going absolutely well.
Bro, I'm hyped.
Let's go.
I don't know what else to tell you.